All right, guys, the sun's out, but it is one cold day. Let me show you what we got on the agenda for today. Everything's nice and frosty this morning. It looks pretty. Boy, it's cold. I know you guys in Canada and up north are probably making fun of me. It's like 15 degrees with no wind, but it's cold for me. But anyways, here's what we got going today. There's a little bit of a ditch right here that catches everything coming off this hillside, and it's all grown up with trees and brush and debris, and there's a spot up there around the corner where it's actually jumped out of the ditch. So we're basically going to go through there and pull all the trees and stuff out of the ditch. I don't know if you can see the ditch there in the trees. Pull everything out of the ditch, lay it up there on the hillside, and kind of get the ditch back in shape. That way they don't have to worry about water jumping out and going across the field. So it's probably 300 or 400 yards down through there maybe. So got the 120 down there. We'll get that old girl fired up. Hopefully she'll start this morning. It's been sitting there for a couple days. Get her fired up. It's need to get some fuel in it, and we'll tie into this one. So let's do it. The mood this old girl's in this morning. Well, that pretty much answers that question. She's not in a good mood. Come prepared though. Got the old jump pack out here. Got her hooked up. Let's try this again. We got her fired up and warming up. Get some get the fuel in this old girl. We'll be good to go. All right, guys, we are finally up running this morning. Got the old girl warmed up. It's cold. I think it's a southern Traco. It don't like the cold. It don't do too bad though. I think I got a bad. Actually, oh come on. After I get done with this job, this Traco is going to the shop. She's due for an oil change. I got a guy lined up to do some welding on the coupler, maybe try to take a little bit of that slop out of the bucket. And depending on how my Traco shopping goes, we may go ahead and throw undercarriage on it. I haven't decided yet. And I'm pretty sure I got a bad battery of the two. I know which one it is. I get by until it gets cold, and whenever I get cold I don't have enough cold cranking amp to keep her going, which is the situation I ran into this morning. But this is it. This is the end of the season right here. This is the last big job of 2019. This is the week before Christmas. This is the time I usually pull her in. And go through it. If you guys watched my channel last year, you know about this time we had her in the shop and pulled all the panels off of it. Went through her pretty thoroughly, and that paid great dividends because, oh, is that tree dead? I think that tree is dead. Oh, that is a dead tree. Nope, don't you come back on me. You're going that way. Yep, that's what I said. You're going that way. Thank you for listening. Glad we could get along today, little tree. If you guys remember last year about this time, I pulled in the shop, went through this thing with a fine-tooth comb, put fuel lines on it, fixed a couple small little leaks, tweaked a few things. I don't know, put almost 1,000 hours on it this year, and I've had no downtime at all. I think on the job, I had two things happen this year. One was self-inflicted. I ran a stick to the radiator hose down there working on a clearing job for Chris, if you remember that. I can't blame that on the Traco. That was my fault. And then that job we were doing for Paul Sprinkle, I tweaked the hydraulic line out there on the boom with a tree, and it just seeped the rest of the day. Got her back to the shop, welded her up that evening, and it was good to go. But other than that, she's treated me good for another year, so can't really complain. But as I've stated before, she's got some hours on her. I'm gonna have to do some pretty major work to her at some point. I'm gonna be pressing my luck a little bit too long. Come on, tree. Come on. Come on. I turn you guys around, let you watch what I'm doing. I got another camera outside, so I maybe do a little bit of split screen. But my windshield's still all frosted up, and I can barely see what I'm doing. So if I can barely see what I'm doing, there's probably no way you guys can see what I'm doing. But anyways, the whole point of this rambling conversation is not to bore you guys to death while I attack trees. Okay. You guys can see. Oh, you don't you do it? Nope. You tried to get me, and it failed. Just dead tree out here. It was stuck in another tree. It's not a very big one, but I have officially won the battle. That's right. Go up there and stay. But anyways, wanted to thank you guys. You know, I posted that video a while back, give you a little bit of an update on my Traco shopping endeavors. I posted that video back, getting your guys' thoughts on what different brands and what you guys think should be my next Traco. And man, you guys come through for me. You gave me a lot of great comments. A couple of the bigger takeaways from that. A lot of guys are liking Komatsu. I'm not real familiar with Komatsu. I know that they are good machines. I'm not doubting that. Actually, the guy we just put the basement in for, he's got a Komatsu PC200, and he seems to like it. He's not in love with it. He said he's okay with it. But my biggest concern about Komatsu is parts, price, and availability. I know they're all available, but you get into goofy stuff, they seem to be a little bit pricey and other stuff, especially if they gotta come from across the pond. The other thing is we do have a dealer close, but that dealer is very, very, very heavy to the mining industry. They don't deal a lot with the smaller equipment, they deal more with the bigger equipment. I'm not saying they wouldn't take care of me, but I would never be a priority to them, which is kind of the same issue with the cat dealer. The cat dealer around here, the coal mines are real big around here, so the cat, Wayne Supply, and Rudd, which is a Volvo dealer, they're all heavy to the mining. The mining is always going to be their first priority, which I can't say I blame them. They buy millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment, and I'm looking to buy one $100,000 Traco, so it makes perfectly good sense why they would cater to them, but it makes sense for them. It don't make sense for me. Still kind of leaning heavily towards the Volvo and the Hyundai route. Guys, I'm not brand loyal. Like, I'm not stuck on a brand, because that's where my biggest thing is I'm interested in what fits my spec. Like, I know the machine spec I need and want, and the Hyundai and the Volvo fit that spec, my spec sheet really well. That's why I keep gravitating towards them. And I mean, I'm confident, and you guys had a lot of good things to say about both, to be honest with you. There's a couple guys on there that said they had some bad experiences with Hyundai. Had some premature pump wear issues. I think I was the #1 complaint that I heard about Hyundai. There's a few negative things about Volvo. Of course, everybody's got an opinion, but overall, everybody seems to be pretty pleased with Volvo. Going back to the dealer side of stuff, the Volvo dealer around here is Rudd Equipment. I ain't knocking them by no means, but again, they're heavy to mining. If you're a little peon like me, they really don't give two craps about you. Never going to be a priority. I did talk to one guy from the dealership. He kind of confirmed my thought on that. He's actually in the service department. We'll let him go nameless. The Hyundai dealer, on the other hand, they have nothing to do with the mining industry, and their bread and butter is guys like me. So I feel like if I went with a Hyundai machine, and then there is a really good dealer about an hour from here, I feel like if I went from a Hyundai machine, I'd always have really good dealer backing. And on top of that, guys, I hate to keep going back to this, whenever I was at the IUCEE show, I was just thoroughly impressed with the Hyundai people. Every one of them was knowledgeable, none of them was pushy, they were proud of their equipment, they had good reason to be, and whatever you got, I feel like they were letting the equipment do the selling for them and not trying to sell the equipment to you. They were just letting the equipment do the selling, and they could, because I still will stand behind. I haven't used one on the job site, I haven't demoed one, but I feel like they had a good piece of equipment to allow that to happen. So that it's still a pretty strong contender. The one that kind of surprised me, oh freaking sycamore tree. The one that kind of surprised me a little bit. Let me see, I'm not gonna open this window up because it is cold outside. I like you guys, but you're just gonna have to look through the glare. Let me turn you around, maybe you can see what I'm doing. All right, hopefully that glare is not too bad. You guys can see out the window. One that you guys commented on quite a bit that I was kind of surprised to see all the positive feedback on. I don't know if surprise is the right word, but it sounds like a lot of you guys have ran some Doosan's and had some pretty good luck with them. Ironically, there is a pretty good sized Doosan dealer, Doosan, or however you say it, pretty good sized dealer, fairly close to here. It's about an hour and a half away. It's actually the Bobcat dealer, obviously, they're owned by Bobcat. And they're kind of the same as the Hyundai dealer, you know, they don't have anything to do with the mining industry. A guy like me is kind of their bread and butter. I feel like I get good dealer support from them. It's a company I've done a little bit of work, I did a little bit of business with in the past. It's actually who my very first Kubota Traco, I actually bought it through them. Didn't really have any problems with them, didn't have a whole lot of dealings with them when I was buying that, but I had no complaints about the transaction. So I may actually make a trip to go check one of those out, do my due diligence. Ooh, hello. And see if there's anything of interest there. My plan at this point, I think I've had no luck. I've had no luck getting any demos. Everybody's invited me to come to their lot and run stuff on their lot, which, I mean, that's better than nothing. At least you get to sit in it and move it. Tree? What? You gotta be like that today. Come on. These trees are always harder to get out in the fall because it saps down the roots and they're just stuck together. So I've had no luck with any demos. The Hyundai people, I need to follow up with them. They were going to work a deal out with me, possibly do a demo, and ball's kind of in my court on that. But this haven't really had, it's hard for me to get timing. It's like this job here, the Traco's been sitting here for a week or two, and I didn't know for sure when I was going to be able to get here. So I can't have their machine sitting here, and I didn't know when that basement was going to go through. So hopefully the timing will work out where I can maybe get a holiday on demo. I am going to Ritchie Brothers auction in Orlando, Florida. I think it's February 12th. There's a couple, there's Yoder and Fry and David's. So there's 3 auctions right there together, including Ritchie Brothers being the big one. But I'm gonna head down there. There's a couple different ones on the auction list that I'm somewhat interested in. So I think Chris, Let's Dig, Logger Wade, SOT Metal Works, Jason Works a lot, Elite Earthworks. I think we're gonna kind of turn it into a guy's trip. Go down there to the auction. Of course, I'm looking to buy a Traco, but have a good time while we're doing it. And then I would like to spend, I got a feeling I may end up with a Volvo Traco. That EC 145 ECU is really the one that I keep gravitating back to. I may reach out to Chris, Let's Dig, and see if he can get me in the seat of a Volvo and educate me on a Volvo a little bit. I think that's a realistic possibility. I've been talking to him a little bit here and there, but I'm just trying to take my time. I'm not desperate for a Traco. I mean, obviously this thing's still moving, but I really need to get something before. I would have liked to already had something, but I really need to get something before next busy season, because I ain't gonna say this Traco wouldn't make it through another year the way it is, but I kind of pushed my luck with it this year, and I don't know if I can get lucky twice. So, but anyways, that's kind of the Traco update. Like I said, I appreciate you guys' input on everything. I'm gonna work my way on down through here, and I'll check in with you guys periodically and let you know how it's going. All right, guys, this is actually the next day. I kind of caught wind that there was a large fire going on Tell City. I didn't know if there was anything I could do to help. I didn't want to be a spectator, so I kind of headed down there real quick. This fire company coming in here, these guys called in people from almost 50 miles away. This one here is actually from about 30 miles up the road. I think they ended up calling in almost 10 agencies. This is an old Swiss plywood factory. They used to make plywood backs and stuff for the furniture factory that used to be in town. The Port Authority, the Tell City Port Authority, actually owns it now. They were in the process of renovating it into several different things. Look at this drone shot. This is from the emergency management drone, and that's a thermal image of the fire. This thing, it got to rolling. It was rolling pretty good. They were having multiple issues with getting water supply stuff to it, as you guys will see here in a clip coming up. I actually helped drag a little bit of fire line down to the river. They ended up drafting some out of the river. Once they got some pretty good water supply going to this thing, they were able to make a stop on it at a firewall. If you look close in one of these pictures coming up, one of the old 1800 fire doors actually burnt through its fuse, and they all closed, and they were actually able to get this thing stopped at one of the firewalls. But it's just sad to see. This is the third building Tell City's lost to a fire here in the last 10 years. So yeah, here's the next day, and you can kind of see the firewall there where they finally got it stopped at. Probably not quite half of the building burnt. A couple offices, FOP lodge, and a few other things, storage and warehouse space. The rest of the building did get some water and smoke damage, but nobody got hurt. That was definitely a good thing. If you look right there in the middle of the screen, you can see those old fire doors that actually rolled shut there on that firewall. They got her stopped, but like I said, nobody got hurt. That's the main thing. A huge turnout to combat this fire. I thought for sure the whole building was going to be a goner at one point. I didn't think they had a chance in heck of getting this thing out, but they did finally get her stopped at one of the fire breaks and got her shut down. So if you guys want me to maybe do a video over the history of this building and kind of a little bit more information about this fire, I do have some other clips and some other info. I can do that. Just let me know. I don't want to put that together unless you guys want to see it. But yeah, this was kind of in the middle of the day, the same day I was doing the job we were on here, cleaning the ditches out. This is actually the next day after that. I went in, actually the fire marshal, believe it or not, the Indiana fire marshal seen me with a drone there, and I actually got a little bit of video for him and took a few pictures and stuff, and then got permission to do this flyover. So I did have permission to do this flying. But yeah, it's just sad to see the old building, a pile of bricks and smoldering ashes. But anyways, guys, that's it. Let's head back to the job and get that finished up. All right, guys, it's the next day. We're back down here again. As you guys can see, the boys had their hands full with that fire yesterday. It was a hot one. It was a nasty one. It's sad to see another historic building in Tell City go up in flames like that, but at least nobody was hurt. So this is where we're at on this. Got the ditch pretty much roughed in all the way down through there. It's actually turned out pretty nice. Kind of surprised myself how well it looks. But we got one last thing to do on this thing. I don't know if you guys can see off there in the distance, but Captain Cleeman's down there with skid steer. We got to put a ditch pipe in down there at the end. We'll get a ditch in there, so they can get from this field to that field. Call this one a wrap. All right, see if we can get this. Huh? Oh. See if we can get this pipe in here without collapsing it. Easy does it. Oh yeah. Watch out, Captain. Am I right there? Guess so. Boom. Right there? I think so. The purpose of this is to get the combine from one field to the other. So if I got it all the way down here at the end, it ain't gonna do them any good because that head hangs over that much, you know what I mean? I guess let's shove some dirt on it right there, and then we'll take track on, smack that sucker in there, send her on home.
Gently tap.
You can smack gently.
Can we just do it, please?
Alright, you say so.
Delicious. Somewhere on here, there's a line that says home. There! Home. That's where we're trying to get to. Why? Why? You're over here getting good footage for a guy, and then he threatens to smash your drink. God's cup holder. Okay.
Yes, I can.
Not an acceptable answer. Home. All right. Let's go to lunch.
We're not done yet.
Okay.
All right, guys, there it is. That is a wrap for this one. We're heading on to the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We shall catch you on the next one.